What is up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Welcome to the next part in my God of War commentary series. We just left in Muspelheim and we are going to venture with Thor. And we just finished off saving Freya in the realm of Vanaheim. And so we are on a quest from Odin, and we'll pull up Muspelheim right now.
Where are we going?
This is really cool to see Muspelheim because we only saw some detail in God of War 4, but this one is really cool because we saw more detail. Look at like the detail on all the mountains and lava spewls and everything. Yeah, okay.
Weird. Well, it seems like we go through this rock.
And what do you know? He brings out his big hammer and crushes it through.
I'm gonna get that.
Okay. And then, yay, fighting scenes. Oh yeah, I forgot I have the sword.
You could maybe help.
I love Atreus' gameplay. Because it's kind of like Kratos having Atreus. The sword is kind of like Atreus if we're fighting as Kratos. Kind of like a nice backup, you know?
Checking. Up there. It looks like there might be a ledge we could reach. If we...
Too slow.
Hey!
The thing what's interesting is that compared to the first level we saw with Thor, is that he would snap his fingers to recall his hammer, but he's not doing it right now. So I don't know if does it need to, or if that was just a detail from the first fight. It's just interesting because it's not what we see right now.
There's things up there hitting us with fire. Use your bow already. Up there, arrows, now.
Already did. Thank you very much, Thor. The thing is, I like Thor. He's not annoying as Heimdall. He's more of just like, he doesn't really want to fight and deal with this. I guess you can call him lazy in that regard.
You know, I took my blood payment from your father for what happened to my sons, but I haven't taken it from you. Yet.
What do you mean?
Later. Don't want to keep the All-Father waiting.
So, come on, Thor. Come on.
Mask.
Right.
I'm 2 steps ahead of
We need
him.
to head through those rocks. Hey, can you...
Any day now. Come on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Again, I love how much detail they added into Muspelheim. We get to see more of the lava. Personally, I like seeing the vibrant lava on this level.
They were my family.
It's kind of like one of the main reasons I loved Ghost of Sparta as well, is that you get to explore in that mountain with all the lava. And so it was really cool to see the detail in the lava in Muspelheim here. Same in God of War 4.
Don't play me. Listen, Modi had some problems, but he was my son. And the only reason you aren't mush right now is because of that broken piece of wood.
Look! Clearly neither of us can do this mission alone. And I want to impress the All-Father just as much as you do. You don't have to like me, but we're gonna have to trust each other. Just a little bit.
Trust.
See, there he snaps. So I think, like, to recall the hammer, he needs to snap, but if he's trying to catch up to the hammer, he doesn't need to.
Good form overall, but not aggressive enough my opinion.
You're more than welcome to step it up.
This is me.
What game?
trusting you.
Oh, yeah. So my friend keeps on telling me that when I play Super Smash Brothers, I play as Mario. That's my main. And so he always keeps on telling me you're not aggressive enough, and I felt like that was very interesting. I was like, oh, you're kind of right. Interesting callback, you know? Well, not callback, but this interesting detail that it just matches my play style of Smash Brothers. I need to play more aggressively in Smash Brothers.
The mask is pulling this way. We'll have to find some way down.
Sure thing.
And then you get to see, like, in the background, like, these structures probably created by Surtur, or the people that live in this realm.
You're so different from your daughter. She seemed...
Hey, come look at this.
Thing is, we don't go over there. We get tricked and we go over here.
Go on, what the...
And what's interesting is that you don't really see it, but he lands first, and then otherwise it would kind of hurt Loki if he landed on his feet and used Loki first as a landing.
No, but I was thinking...
Well, that's your problem.
The trials are just past that cliff. Might be something you would do.
First we deal with them.
Come on, Thor. Just check them out.
That's right. Just try it.
You getting tired?
Not slightly.
An ogre.
I'm gonna deal with the... Actually, no, we're gonna deal with the ogre first. I was gonna block that. Okay, let's do the animal. I'm trying to use the animal a bit more because when I first played this game, I don't really use the special ability that much. Gotta hit the butt. Come on, Thor, finish him. Or are you just gonna let me finish him? Okay, I'll finish him. I think he defeated the other enemies and he was just waiting for me. Okay, let's just collect our loot really fast.
He can wait a little more. It's fun.
Fine. Stay right here.
Yes, sir.
He got bait. And then we go down here.
Hopefully.
Come on, give me a challenge.
Hey, Ingrid. Do you trust the ace here?
Go down. Usually you go up to get a chest, but I'm not gonna
Just
go
need
get
them
that
to trust
chest.
me. But that's only gonna happen if they think I trust them. Yeah.
The thing is,
Can't you guys go fight Thor or something? Yappa!
gotta destroy this thing. It takes a while. Okay. Forgot about that, to be honest. Then we finally get to the scene where he opens up another one. The whole time, I wasn't really thinking about Agriboda. I wasn't thinking about Grow Shrine. I was thinking about, well, what if Thor ends early and catches us? Because if Thor came back early, didn't find us at the spot, he would be looking down here and finally found out the secret of Groa's Shrine, the secrets of the giants, and everything. And I was just scared the whole entire time because I'm like, dang it, what if Thor comes down here and finds us? Then everything would just be ruined. But of course, the developers and everything didn't want that, so he's spending a lot more time on the trials. He's probably on trial like 2 right now, to be honest.
This looks an awful lot like Defying Destiny.
Even though Thor can literally just take everyone out in less than a second, so I don't know why he's taking so long.
Odin gave that to you?
It's not. Well, he did, but it's not. I'm not working with him. I would never tell him anything about Ironwood if that's what you're worried about. And I'm definitely not serving him.
It's prophecy's words, not mine. I've got a marble to find.
So again, I love the dynamic acting between them. They and just like the people at Santa Monica, they totally agree that they just work well with each other. You could tell it between their acting. It's like the subtle gestures between each other. Just it works really, really well.
Oh, hello there. A sentient sword. Huh.
Technically true.
Another marble. Surters. No soul in it though.
So he's still out there somewhere. A while back, you talked about how the giants left. You ever think about that?
I still love going inside Groa's Shrine because it's just like Jotunheim. You have the nice, beautiful golden sun radiating on the golden lands and sand. And it's so cool.
I'm gonna save my father.
And there's like 2 suns, or maybe a moon and the sun. Doesn't really matter, but mainly one sun shining down on everything.
Who is that?
Not Surtur, that's for sure. Look at all that frost.
Sinmara.
Don't think I've heard of her before. And here comes Surtur.
Wow. This must have been some fight.
Yeah, until it wasn't.
They just stalked?
Oh, no. Look, it's because they fought together.
Looks like they even became friends.
More than friends.
Good friends.
Are they?
Yeah. I think they are.
Oh, well that's good for them.
But it looks like they're...
Good thing this game is rated M. Because that wouldn't... Like, that would be so awkward for like a teenager.
Ragnarök destroys Asgard.
I mean, like, people 16 and under, you know?
Well, that was... something. Oh, hey, remember the snake we put that soul in?
Can't really forget that.
I saw it. It's getting bigger. Like, faster than normal bigger.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen.
Huh.
And then we learn it's a snake. And so that's the moment when it just blew me away. I'm like, no way!
To see a giant human.
That's really cool that we turned that little snake into the giant snake. And it actually comes to fight with us in Ragnarök later. And so then we get back to the fight.
Think Thor died from...
You thought you could defeat the god of thunder?
Again, he's still fighting. At this point, I thought he would be done, and I thought we'd be caught, but it doesn't look that way.
I admit, that was fun. There were mountains of corpses by the time they cut down like peas. The lava ran red with their blood. True.
Great! You wanna help down here?
Wouldn't think you'd need my help if you beat all those trials. Or did you just watch your father do it? Hey, what's taking so long? You wouldn't believe the scores of these things I just killed. It was glorious.
We get it, Thor. But the thing is, it took you long enough. My goodness. We were waiting for like 5 minutes.
She'd be faring better than you, at least.
Look at that. It's one of my favorite moves I haven't shown you yet. is that when you're aiming, you can double tap and kind of like throw your and like dodge. Boom, drop kick, you're done. I forgot about that. You know what? No, he took care of it.
Done that at any time.
You seem to be handling yourself well enough. I was trusting you. So, where to?
This
Let
way.
me check. Looks like we need to head through that gate. Thor?
Door.
Take that impressive. Real god stuff.
You are a god.
You're damn right.
And so am I.
And then this is where
It's
the
here.
crux of it.
This is the spot.
Where is it? In the lava?
I don't know.
Well, you know, it is.
No!
And then what doesn't make sense, he literally puts his hand in lava. You know how hot lava is?
Some advice.
It could burn your hand off. And so he should literally have no mobility of his hand right now. Because it's super hot.
Good.
Now, you could say, oh, he's a giant and he has the power of a giant, and so he basically can do that. Kind of like Star-Lord for Guardians of the Galaxy. But I don't believe that. I personally just believe that his hand is now inoperable because he put it in lava. I mean, that thing is really, really hot, and he should be able to use his hand.
Look, you did
I
it.
just think that's a fatal flaw, and that Thor should have been the one to do it.
But you can't translate it.
But, oh well.
Yeah. See, I got a little theory. I think if we can find the rest of this, we can use it to look into that without, you know, losing an eye or worse. Look at this. We make a good team. Don't we? Don't we? Make a good damn team?
Just like you and Baldur.
Boom, roasted.
You both behave out there?
It was really great. I learned a lot from him.
What can
You
I
learned
learn from
something
him?
Really now? Okay. What did you teach the kid?
Nothing. What could I possibly teach him?
Exactly. I was wondering where that went. Actually, I had a pretty good idea. Change of heart.
I'm not really sure why I came to Asgard.
I still don't know
I
what's
realize
in
now
that scroll and what it was
wasn't
used
to be a
for.
spy.
But
need you
I
to
don't
know
think it
this.
really matters.
And if I'm gonna help you take this to the end, I need to be able to trust you.
And trust is earned. I get it. Take this.
Now that
Figure out the rest of
is
it.
a line I totally believe in. Trust is definitely earned. When I meet someone in real life for the first time, it takes me a long time to trust them. Just because of what I've seen throughout my life so far, the difficulties I've faced, is that I don't trust people very easily. And so that's just a philosophy I believe in real life. Know all the side stuff, and we're going to go back to Atreus' headquarters. And we're going to start the next mission.
All right, come along, Hugin.
Hey, you're back.
Not anymore. I'm leaving.
Well, this has been a weird day. Exactly.
You notice that little detail in the hammer, the wall just now? Yeah, that was Thor's hammer. Or, I guess it would be Modi's hammer, eventually, once Thor was done with it. Now, we don't actually see, like, what he carved, but I bet he just typed in, or carved his name in there. Probably in runic letters, but, it would be cool. And everyone loves this transition. Everyone I've seen throughout the game, it's kind of cool that he set down the knife, and it's a cool transition to Kratos now, that he picks up the knife. And personally, again, I love Kratos' armor. It's so amazing. How it contrasts the blue and the gold. Kind of similar to Odin and Lady Sif, and kind of the Asgardian culture. But I personally love it. It's like blue quartz, and it has like a streaming flow. Kind of like lapis lazuli in Minecraft.
Good morning, brother.
It's personally my favorite color.
I have a plan.
Do you now?
Renards. You found them once. Could you do so again?
I could try, but I don't see how that would
They
help.
are the fates of these lands, are they not? I would know what they know,
You may not find them cooperative.
as long as I find them. Where do we search?
And this is very similar in this universe to the Sisters of Fate in the Greek universe. And because I believe in... I forgot which God of War game, but I want to say God of War 1? No, God of War 2. We meet the Sisters of Fate and fight them in the Greek universe. And in this one, we're going to go find the versions of the Sister of Fate in this Norse realm. And so it's just cool that he's bringing back the Greek knowledge he had of all the people that he has faced and bringing it into this world, Norse world. And that's what's really cool, is that he is bringing back his past knowledge and using it in this Northland. Now again, he is an outsider. That's why he's asking Freya, anyone from these lands, because he doesn't know the full scope of these lands yet. He's still new. It takes a long time to know the realm and everything about that. So luckily he has Freya to ask and her assistance.
Sit, please.
So I think that's this interesting detail.
You have been quiet.
Frankly, I'm surprised you of all people would seek out fate. But your instincts haven't let us down so far. Let's find the Norns.
The bear is very confident about it. That's what I like. Let's do this.
Who am I to offer? I only hope to help the boy find his answers.
Hang on! I got something for you. Sindri!
Coming!
Before you
And I thought this was interesting, is that they finally give back the shield of what he lost around the first or second mission. It's like, it's about time, about 5-6 missions later you finally give it to me. Anyways, yeah, it's finally glad when I first played this, I'm like, yes, finally, the original shield, I love it.
Madam Neither, where have you been?
Nah, I'm not gonna.
I suspect we may have consequences to look forward to.
Oh, very much so. Now, I'm not going to interact with the squirrel. That's just side content stuff, but he's still a very interesting fellow. Again, if you saw the Chronicles of Narnia and the Voyage of the John Treader, I believe it's what it's called, he was in that, and he was also in Prince Caspian. He had a major role in those films, and he was quite interesting. And so I liked how they kind of made him a little bit more lively in this game.
We should take your sled and head to the lake.
By all means, let's do this.
Midgard, how I've missed the freezing gusts and constant raider attacks.
Well, that's because they believe Kratos is responsible for Fimbulwinter, and that killing him will end it.
Where would they get an idea like that?
From me, of course.
Of course.
Quiet! She is a friend. Now.
Better they get this from you. Once the wolves have the scent of the Norns,
And so this
they
whole
follow their lead.
scene here is where when she gives a scent, and basically she tells Kratos how animals really react and stuff like that, how to treat them. Because Kratos doesn't really know much about animals. Like, he didn't really grow up with them in the Greek universe. And Frey has a lot of knowledge and expertise with it because she's raised boars, wolves, whatever her land was around that turtle. She has a lot of experience with animals, so she's just giving some helpful advice to Kratos. And because he doesn't know much. So I thought that was kind of an interesting detail when I first played this, because that was just an interesting thought. We're going to the other side of the temple.
Who we would meet, who we would fight, all of it, as it happened.
But you aren't dead.
That image was from a time yet to come.
I see. You've never struck me as someone who fears death. That's not the point.
He welcomes it. If you play God of War 3 in any of the God of War games, you would know he's not afraid of dying. Rather, in fact, he welcomes it. Because in the games, he would rather die, and he's been to hell twice. In God of War 2, and God of War 1 and God of War 2, he went to hell and came back. Not hell, but you know what I mean. But yeah, he comes back, and so it's really easy for him to, like, come back from death. The thing is, in this game and in the future games, he doesn't really, like, he fears death, but also fears death. The thing is, he doesn't really know the netherworld in this realm.
We believed you could be an ally.
I still like this realm. The whole of the snow and the frozen lake, very, very different from God of War 4. So I was really, really surprised when everything was frozen over, even the lake. When I saw the cover art, because again, I didn't see any gameplay, trailers, images, whatever. So I was really surprised that everything was frozen over, because it was just not what I expected at all. Why does it lead us here? Because we have to go around and then open up something in the canyon. Now look at this. Even though I'm fighting, you can tell that I'm gaining health as I take every hit. Very small, but you can tell that little detail. Okay, this is a really powerful move. So basically, I'm unstoppable for 10 seconds right here, or 15 total. So even though I will take hits, doesn't mean I'll die. You gotta learn this from God of War 4 as well. You can just take control of the troll, and then he'll do a lot of damage on other ones as well. That's kind of like what you have to learn if you play these God of War games. Even in the regular games, it's the same concept. You just take out the big guy, and then he'll do a lot of damage on everything else.
The way forward is magically sealed. Something in here is giving it power.
The hilt of a sword.
And then this is where we find the hilt of a
Tread carefully. Who of all people know how weapons can carry ghosts?
of a king, and so we just have to find all the kings.
If it does not help us find the Norns.
That one was really hard, but I think one of the hardest ones is where they had double in, I think, Niflheim.
Oh no.
Nothing here. Let's keep going.
There's nothing here.
A false trail.
I'm afraid so. We'll have to see what else the wolves can find.
Typical Nornish mischief.
They know we're searching. I warned you they wouldn't make it easy.
Again, I really like this realm because I never saw anything of it. So when everything was frozen over, like you could see the lake is just all frozen over. I never expected that. I thought it would be just a lake, because right now we couldn't really go in there. We would just have to drive a boat all the way across. And so that's the thing, like, that was really fascinating. I mean, well, look at that. You could see somewhat into the ice, but not fully into the ice. And so, again, I was very blown away that the atmosphere has very much changed. And that's what I love about this Midgard realm. It's just, it was very, very different.
Hard to explain.
I think we go over here and then up.
Entrances come and go. A place wholly under their influence, where the intangible becomes.
I mean, look at that. That's like a pirate ship that is in the ice. That's so cool. The detail they added into all this is so cool. And look at that. A ship has crashed into the ice.
This is the area.
Okay, let's keep going.
Let's see.
There's a Odin's Raven behind us, and it was should be like right around there somewhere. And I've actually had to go back when searching for all that. Oh, I thought we go up there. My bad. But yeah, there's a Kratos behind, or sorry, a Raven behind me, and I was like, oh, well, I bet this is one of them, like all 50 or whatever I had to collect, because it was right there somewhere, hidden right there. You have to get close to it. Sorry, right? Okay, let's take it down. That's what I love about Freya and Atreus. They provide distractions and damage. Okay, let's kill this thing. Okay.
You know, this search will only get more dangerous.
Then we keep looking.
That's the best part.
Mimir, have you encountered these Norns?
Not personally. Freya's right. Ways of discouraging visitation.
Okay, we still have a little bit more time. I think we have to split this mission up into 2 parts, just because I don't think we can finish it.
Forget what he saw.
More or less, each mission is around an hour.
What you experienced when you sought the Norns last time.
To be honest,
And it's a long game. I think it's around 30 hours, more or less. I forgot the exact time, but it took me a long time just to play my first playthrough. And then I think speedrunning it took a while as well. But it was much shorter than, of course, because I was skipping every cutscene and stuff like that. And I'm kind of speedrunning it now, but oh well. Personally, I like this, that you don't have to climb, and there's no, like, carrying someone on the back. It's literally, you just go up to one location. And you just spring for it with, like, a grapple.
No, I think the water just froze.
More of your friends.
Here we go.
I didn't tell them to be here.
Fire from above!
Nice teamwork. Okay, let's just kill this guy with this thing.
I don't know what the Norns did to trick all these raiders into guarding them. Not that they have any idea that's what they're doing.
Freya, thank you for your help. I know this was not your focus.
The sooner we find your son, the sooner you'll be able to focus.
She has a point.
I hope it works.
Just the same. Thank you.
A fine sentiment, but write her a bloody note when we're out of the cold, brother.
Let's do this. Boom. Cut the torso off. Same thing here, just slits the head right open. Do some damage here. I love this move. Snaps the neck. Boom. It's so cool. The thing is, there was a chance to do that same move near the beginning of the game, when you were with Atreus at the moment, and you're hitting back after you got to see Gro's shrine and everything. There's one of those warriors there, and you had a chance to kill that big guy, but again, I just killed him outright. I didn't do that special move, so it's about time we finally saw that special move on one of those big guys. It's kind of cool because it brings me back. It kind of looks like those guys are of the Ice Age era, you know? So they have like those big tusks, and you can easily kill them with one of them once you have that finishing move.
But assume nothing. There's no telling what manner of creature they've made unwitting guards.
Delightful.
Here's where the fun begins. And then you hear their voices in the background. The thing is, these were never a challenge. Even in the first game, it was really easy to defeat these guys.
Weapon of the gods turned against his
Okay, any day now.
He chases a redemption he knows he can never deserve. He cannot.
Very cool move right there. Let's just finish him off. Okay, keep moving.
Are we in our own minds yet?
And then this is where it got interesting, because they have the ability to read the minds or speak to them personally inside the minds. And I thought that was really, really cool. Rip him in half, or just rip his head off. Do you recognize this area? It kind of looks like the area Atreus went when he was fighting all those people when he got lost. And it just might be, because the pathway is blocked if you see onto our left, or sorry, on our right. Because that pathway is blocked. And so basically we have to go around. But I thought that was really, really interesting. That they had the music right. Dum bum 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 bum. They had a little hint of the original theme song. Because the Norns can read the past. Right here.
Let me guess. I'm a long-winded know-it-all, and I can't.
Okay.
See? You forgot smartest man alive.
Okay, let's keep moving. But I love the theme song that they read into the binds, they recognize the past, and that's why when you're fighting these guys, it brings the original theme song back. Bum 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 bum. Okay, we've got the mini boss fight here. The fun stuff.
What is that?
These are, I think there's one in Niflheim as well.
Aim for the runic core.
Bloody hell, look at that thing.
Okay.
Close in! Attack!
Oh, one more hit.
Bring them down.
It's one down, a couple more to go. These enemies aren't that hard because you could just fight them from a distance, especially since you have the axe, you can literally attack from afar. Then we attack a couple more pillars. And then one more to go. And then we defeated it. And this was an interesting moment because I think in the second playthrough, I was waiting for this enemy because this was the last upgrade I needed to upgrade my, I believe, yeah, the Leviathan axe, and therefore I was able to get some sort of trophy for it, because I think, and especially for the blades and the Dropner Sphere, is that you need to upgrade your weapons fully, and that was like one of the last enemies I needed to do to get that, and then upgrade it fully. And so that's why I was like, yay, this person again, because it was like the one enemy I needed to complete a trophy for the platinum. And then it looks like we're literally going into the descent into darkness, but it's not really that. We are just, the deeper we go down, it gets a little bit lighter. And I think we're about to enter one of the main areas where you have a lot of fighting to do. And that's the fun of it, right? Now, I don't know if I did the option intentionally to automatically do the doors or not, because I don't know if we can. Okay, and then we do this. We live the events of God of War 4. That's why it's imperative for people to play God of War 4 before they play this game. That way you understand what's happening. You're going to be so lost and figure out what the heck that scene was if you never played God of War 4. Because you'd be like, what? What's going on? And plus, you would not understand the hate between like Freya and Baldur and Kratos and everything like that. And that's why it's imperative. I guess it was cool that they added a recap for people that didn't play God of War 4. That they finally added it, you know? You got some more enemies to fight. It's really cool because this goes wave after wave, and kind of like the ending for, I believe, God of War 2, or no, God of War 1, I believe, where you had to fight Kratos over and over and over and over and over again with multiple copies of himself. I thought this is kind of cool that you had to face multiple enemies of yourself and other characters around you.
Brother, hold off! Why did you never turn on Odin? But I did! I tried to stop him any way I could!
And I thought that was kind of an interesting callback. This is where the fun begins, because there's a lot of enemies to face. Personally, I'm not going to deal with that. And then you have Mimir trying to atone for his mistakes.
Watch out! There's more of them! Even now, you see a violent god in need and you can't help but hate him.
And then you have so many of these people. Because I knew eventually we weren't going to be fighting, and we had to wait for it. Kind of like the Heimdall fight between Heimdall and Atreus.
It is not her.
Now, that's an optional objective right there. You kind of have to fight the Valkyries, especially Sigrun, in order to understand that. But oh my gosh, it's really cool that it's the same animation from God of War 4, and we'll see that in Gandalf fight later. Fun. And so basically, we're just fighting a bunch of soldiers, because Kratos will know he has to. And then I think, yeah, we have more enemies. Take care of them now. Let's switch to our blades, that way it could take a lot of enemies out faster. And so basically this is when everyone's going crazy. Mimir, Kratos, Freya, they're all trying to deal with their pasts. The Norns are just trying to get in our heads, and I think I'd like that, is they're trying to make us go crazy, fight everyone we're expected to fight.
Atreus, I am here.
Okay, come on. Oh, I didn't see him. I was focusing on the enemy up over there. Big guy.
I'm not safe with it! Oh, Father, help me! He's a monster!
And then we're finally done with the sequence.
It's over. Did we pass the test?
Didn't feel much like succeeding.
I see the door has disappeared.
Or it was never there.
They toy with us still.
Then we finally get here. And I really loved this area when I first saw it. Big, giant, open lake.
She must be there.
And they're here somewhere, we just don't know where.
Ask her. Nicely. Easy, girl. Easy. That's right.
Nice, beautiful horse. Cool barking on the body. I wonder if it means anything, but there's probably a hidden meaning on it. I just don't know what it is.
Get on.
That's a good lass. Lovely creatures. Temperamental by reputation. In my land,
And then I'm like, okay, so they're just gonna get their feet a little wet. And it's like, nope, they're walking on water. Okay. And everyone who played this scene, every other gamer thought the same thing. It's like, oh, we're walking on water. I'm guessing we're going to the other side, right?
There were the hippocamps. They served as
Again, I love that Kratos always mentions the Greek realm.
That might not be
Every time it does that, this makes me a little bit happy because it's a callback on all the old games. And then this is kind of cool, how they have a base literally protected by a giant sea bubble, and it kind of looks like an anemone from Finding Nemo, but I guess it's just kelp.
Fate's own hideaway. Never doubted we'd make it.
And then this thing I really loved because I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be like the Sisters of Fate, but no, they totally transformed the scene of what it used to be in God of War 2.
And Mimir's head. Enter the home of the Norns. Tentatively.
And then it was very beautiful. Look at the golden arches and everything. It's so cool. How it has a nice light coming down on the kelp. So it kind of looks like a golden feel to it. But that's just their home.
I seek my son.
So she's the person who speaks for them. Then the person who's talking now is like the interpreter.
What all who search for us
And know exactly
to know the
what's going to
ending
happen.
your story.
The ghost of Sparta.
The Ghost of Sparta. I love it every time they mention that because that's its true purpose.
Resists the urge to grunt.
And basically that girl's just monologuing everything. All three present three different situations about exactly what is happening.
Seeking freedom from your scripts, as if knowing your lines would grant you the power to rewrite them.
Speak plain.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
It's not Ghost of Sparta, it's Kratos of Sparta. I like that. They keep changing the words.
Destroyer of fate. There must be a way to subvert destiny.
There is no destiny, Puck.
The protagonists are speechless. They do not understand.
There is no grand design, no script. Only the choices you make.
I thought that was very interesting because you think about that in real life too, is that everything everyone does is the choices everyone's make. If someone chooses to rob a bank, it's going to inevitably be in their situation to rob a bank. If someone's going to be an airplane pilot, it's the choices they make overall from the beginning of their life. They choose to make that, and it's predicted in the future that they would. Now, again, since everyone's actions are really easy to predict, especially these people. They can predict the future. Now, it doesn't mean it's written in stone. It's based on the actions. Now, if someone's able to change their actions in life, sure, they will be able to change their destiny. But since people never change their actions, and it's really hard for people to change, it's really hard to subvert the future.
The curtains fall. Exunt omnes.
And then this is where I realize is like, well, Heimdall does in fact have the intent to kill Atreus. And Kratos, knowing he kills gods and needs to protect his son at all costs, will kill Heimdall. Even though he does not want war, he cares about the safety of his own son. And that will inevitably lead to war. And it makes perfect sense if you think about it. And it's really sad to see, because there's really no way you can stop it. It's just something that has to happen, because it's the choices he'll make. He has to protect his son at those costs, therefore he'll kill Heimdall, and therefore it'll lead to Ragnarok, which will lead to war. And so it's sad to see every single time, because it's just what will happen. There's no way to prevent it based on what his actions will be. And so he's kind of sad about it, but also realizes what's going to happen.
That's better. I can feel things getting more normal already.
Wait.
Sorry I keep pausing the game, I'm just checking the time, how much I have.
Isn't that interesting?
Because at this moment, I think I have about 8 minutes left till it stops recording and overlaps. Again, I'm doing this on the PS5, as you probably already know. And then we realize this lasso, and I'm like, huh, this is really, really interesting. Because I think that's where something happened to Odin, he was hanged or something, and therefore it was just true that it can be used against him. So I didn't realize the full intent till later in the fight in Ragnarok, but that's basically used to go against Odin. So I'm going to do my best to go all the way down this cliff as fast as I can, but we'll see. I think I'll finish just on time when I get to the base, but it's really hard to tell.
If we have the chance to eliminate him before Ragnarok, we shouldn't hesitate.
Considering his powers of foresight alone,
and then they're talking about like how to defeat
even supposing we're all perfectly comfortable plotting an assassination
them, and I'm guessing Freya and especially Mimir would know how to defeat Heimdall.
and know we to kill him if we did.
I have killed gods greater than him.
I don't doubt
Technically
that,
true.
but it's hardly my point.
Of every single playthrough, I would always go to the right and then get the chest and be like, where do I go? And then I guess I finally did it right this time, where I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go up. I do not need to go left. I do not need to go right.
Headlong into danger to protect the ones you love.
I do not intend to change. Not about that.
Why should you? Apparently my tendency is to kill the ones I love.
Freya.
I don't need you to comfort me. Either of you.
Their accusation was cruel. None of us believe.
The truth can be a cruel thing. Anyone care to argue?
Amen.
No.
The truth can be hard sometimes, and that's kind of like the rule of life.
What do you mean, brother?
Again, everyone on every single episode be like, oh, you're gonna miss all this treasure, and I'm like, I know, I'm just going through the main story, it's not that hard. Hopefully people realize that. Because I'm just doing my commentary on the main story. That's basically all I'm doing.
Foolish to go after Heimdall.
No. If Heimdall must die for Atreus to live, then Heimdall must die.
How can you say that, knowing what you know?
Because if Heimdall is a threat to my son...
Again, he cares more about the safety than anything.
Your nature. Well played, Norns.
Because it's true. Okay, I got 5 minutes.
Find a gateway. Return home. Consider our plans. Enough. We go home. Now tell me of this power Heimdall wields. He sees the future.
More like
Again, I love that he goes to Mimir and Freya because they know the most about Heimdall, especially with Freya, where it was side to Odin, and so she would gain inside knowledge about it. Also Mimir, where he's the smartest man alive and also knows every power of every single being in this universe. And so by meeting us, especially the first time, he had no idea what's going to happen. Okay, so I will leave this mission off and end this part, and so I will see you guys next time with lots and love and respect. Peace out and bye.